Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of your favorite Esports in Green Bay podcast, Patch Notes. This is Vindy. Vindy, how are you this fine evening?
A little tired.
A little tired of this attitude. Forrest.
Hey.
Wolfclock.
Hi.
Wolfclock.
Uh,
How are you doing?
I don't like you, Wolfclock.
You don't like
I don't like Wolfclock either.
Why do you put why do you put the E there?
Because Wolfclock was taken on Twitter.
Wait, and you didn't want to do like lowercase x, capital X, lowercase x, Wolfclock?
Say 2012, bro.
So it's Edge Wolfclock, it's Esports Wolfclock, and it's Ethereum Wolfclock.
Foreshadowing. Aren't these all reasons to like the E?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't want anyone to call me E Wolfclock.
Okay.
It's just my tag.
Okay. Sounds good. So Wolfclock, besides me naming you badly.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, really cool. And I'm Spinozone. Nice to re-meet
And
you all.
it is Vindy's bedtime.
It is Vindy's bedtime. Pretty
Get off
soon
of
we are gonna go tuck him in, and then Wolfclock and I are gonna go have a really nice time at the local party place, the Drift Inn. It's gonna be great.
Shout outs.
Yeah, shout outs. One of the older places in this burb. Can you call our area a burb?
I have no idea.
Green Bay is just a suburb
Of what?
But it has suburbs.
of Green Bay.
I feel like there's an
There's
infinite
100,000
regress
people
Of
here.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, there's 100,000
Which
people.
is in turn a suburb.
It's
of
a
Chicago.
suburb. It's a suburb of the stadium. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
'Cause, I mean,
Not wrong.
without the stadium,
Not
there would
wrong.
be nothing here but
No.
homes.
Yeah, mostly nothing. I won't go into detail about
Well,
what
no.
things might be there.
Okay, we could go on a tangent, but like we do have the Bay for like bringing in goods and
Yeah,
stuff.
we have LiveX.
Yeah, true.
LiveX is pretty cool.
Okay, all right. I digress. I'm moving on.
Moving on.
Badgerland, no, Badger State Brewing. That's the we're moving on. So we have a big theme, which might be in the title. If you check, I think it's going to be there.
Right.
I'm like a real YouTuber now, pointing
it's
at
like-
things
Right here.
right there. Yeah. It's right over here.
Let Andrew know. Like, hey, I shot a great video, and it's it's right here somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the cloud. It's right.
True, it is
yeah.
in the cloud.
So our big thing today is talking about the relation between crypto investing, cryptocurrency, and esports. Financing of esports, popularizing of esports. But before we get to that, there's just a couple of things we have to check into. I have listed the only two things I care about in the gaming world, Valorant and Overwatch. If y'all want to get anything in, we can definitely do that right now, or I'll just...
Well, I'll go right now. That way I just don't forget.
Yeah.
LCS kicked off a couple weeks ago.
Nice. At that really awesome noon.
Actually, they
time
moved
slot.
it to 2 p.m.
Hey,
Dang.
let's
Yep.
go.
Could it have
or
been?
3 p.m. I don't know because I am not watching the games.
But did they listen to
Why
your
aren't you
take? Is
watching
this
the games?
why?
I just lost all the momentum for caring.
Dang.
Even though my favorite player is back. Double lift is back, but like
And
even
is
then
it
I
because of
still
our conversation from episode 2.
That he came back?
no. It's like I would watch the games on the weekends. You know, and it was like a big deal. It was a lot of fun. I got behind it. I was a consumer.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the franchising happened, and that was kind of like weird. And then like Echo Fox getting kicked out was really weird. I didn't like that. Immortals got kicked out. That was super weird. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
We were paying players way too much money and importing players as much as we could, so it didn't really feel like we had an NA team sending to Worlds.
True.
Sneaky never got re-signed again. Like, it's just really weird. Like, the amount of imports that are now technical residents are like we don't. Yeah, I think Worlds last year we sent 15. Was that there was 15 NA starters. 2 of them were from NA.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's like it's like an identity problem.
Dang.
A little bit. And there's just so many things that we're just cutting against, and it's like, and that's the thing. Like, if you hop out of it and you're just out of that system, getting back into it, it's just like,
yeah, almost like it's a trap.
yeah. I'd rather just watch. I'd rather watch some Reddit VODs over some highlights and call it good.
What if we use this opportunity to get you into Valorant Esports?
I
did
just
you
don't.
know
I just don't like the game
there
that
is
much.
a local place that offers really awesome circuit play and
True.
casted games
Really?
on Sundays.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
so crazy.
Here's the thing. I think, yeah. I think you should check it out. I mean, I'm kind of
think I would.
surprised.
That's
Yeah.
the thing is like last night I hopped on. I felt the urge to play some Valorant, but even in that escalation game, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I already said I'd play.
And I might have flamed you for when you said you didn't want to learn the game.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, this isn't an apology.
No, I know. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah,
said
yeah.
it's
Okay,
fine.
okay. Sounds good. Yeah. But now that we're on the topic of Valorant esports, one of the top 2 esports, y'all know what the other one is because we'll talk about it afterward.
Super
Overwatch.
Smash Brothers.
All right. So right now, what's going on is the VCT Challengers tournaments, and that's pretty cool. Why?
The
Because
lock-in starts this weekend, right?
the lock-in starts February 13th.
Next week.
What region is VCT?
VCT's everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, VCT is like the big
Valorant
one.
the championship.
Yeah,
Champions
Valiant
tournament or
Champion,
whatever.
Valorant Champions Tour, and then
okay.
there's like
so
VCT.
it's all of the events.
Yeah, and the big areas are the Americas, EMEA, and
EMEA is Europe.
yeah, and like Middle
You
East.
started with continents and then went to an
Europe, Middle East, Africa, I
Okay.
think.
All right.
Yep.
And then like Indo-Pacific. What are they?
Oceania.
Yeah,
That's
it's one of
that's
those
what
two.
Riot calls them.
Yeah. So those are the 3 big ones. Lock-in is a Sao Paulo LAN event, and it's going to be lit.
It's invite only.
Yeah, it's invite only. All of the franchise teams. Valorant Challengers, which is going on right now, is the Tier 2 tournament cycle that will decide who gets to become franchised in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, one team gets added into each
Yeah.
franchise league.
Well, I mean, they go from tier 2 to tier 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
keeps it simple.
Yeah.
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 There's no cutting, but there are teams that can be cut out, right?
No, I
Valorant?
don't
I
actually.
think they're stuck in.
That's
yeah.
at the end, I think, of the tour. They decide who's tier 1 based on the results of
Oh,
the tour.
I see. So you can stay as a team, but you might not get to play in the ultimate league then. See, that's actually healthy.
Yeah, it's super
Man,
cool.
that's so good.
Yeah.
Because then you can say, oh, we have unlimited tier 2 teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Tier 2 teams.
And that's good
actually-
too,
yeah.
because like the risk for the orgs now has just been like it's cut so dramatically. Because like you can still follow your favorite team in a tier 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And games
Yeah.
are just as exciting.
Yeah.
Especially when
That's really
rivalries.
Man,
start
why
to
didn't I
come.
think of that?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a really good
like,
idea.
here's a
I'm
point
gonna,
about risk.
I'm gonna use that
We can
somehow,
do
some
that.
way.
We
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
On your
yeah.
point about risk, like you can even be the CEO of a team that makes a really prominent Twitter post about how you can party with whoever you want, and that's Andrew Tate, and then like risk ruining the welfare of your teams, but then still have a pretty decent NA Challengers team, G2.
Right.
G2. They're actually on the top of their group scoreboard. I think they're playing now at the time of recording. I could literally check to see what their score is. I'm not going to, though. Spoilers. It's going to be a good VOB. They have 2 players who used to be on Sentinels. Sentinels, the biggest clout team on this side of the Atlantic.
Who's Shroud playing for?
Peanuts.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't think he's
Twitch?
playing in the team,
Yeah.
right?
He's already off a Valorant team.
I mean, he already was washed, and so now he's just drying somewhere.
I don't think he got signed anywhere.
I don't.
Wait,
Yeah, I
guys, he
haven't
was
seen
playing
anything.
he was playing on a Valorant team.
Yeah.
Was he not?
He was on the
Yeah, he was on
Sentinels.
Sentinels.
Oh, okay. That's what I asked.
Yeah, he got cut.
Yeah,
Oh, he
Sentinels
got cut.
doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
He was starting though
Yeah.
on Sentinels. Okay.
Yeah, but like
And he
a
didn't
lot
play
of the
well?
people
It was-
who were starting on
Yeah, it
Sentinels
was just
didn't
for
deserve
fun.
to be starting on
Oh,
Sentinels. The only one who
okay.
made it to the franchise
They just wanted
period.
an easy story.
was Tens.
Yeah.
Like for a while there was
Tens
Sentinels.
like Sentinels being built around tens this season
Yeah,
though
yeah.
is gonna be so hype.
It
I
is,
see.
and they also have 2 players from Loud, like the best Brazilian team. They are fire, and like my
Well,
favorite.
on that
yeah.
podcast that I shared with you
Yeah.
guys earlier today, like they
Yeah.
go through like how they like acquired tens, I guess,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
conversations that they had, and then the decisions that they made about going after the Loud players.
Is
Because
Tens
of
from
Tens was from Cloud9.
Yeah. Let's say that
In
name
the
sounds
OG.
so familiar.
I mean, he probably
CS:GO player, right?
He's good, so
He's
I
like the best Valorant player.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, but
what did
I feel like
Tens
he-
do?
I feel like there's a Tens.
I don't know.
and
I know nothing of the
CS:GO.
CS:GO. So
Oh
and
yeah,
their
former
transformations.
CS:GO player.
I know a lot of the lady teams.
Oh, he's young. Never mind. I thought this was an older player.
No,
So it doesn't matter. He might have played CS:GO, but I thought this was an older player.
Yeah, no, he's
Valorant
young.
is where he made his name.
Okay.
Yeah, and he only got into Sentinel. It's funny that he's the only one from the previous Sentinels roster who made it, because he was new to the Sentinels roster when Sinatra got canceled. Sinatra being a player who had been an MVP in Overwatch, came over, started to play Valorant, was looking really good as a duelist, and then all this stuff came out about what's like a worse sexual harassment. I was going to try to say like a worse way of, or like a more traumatic sense of hanky-panky, but like that really wouldn't have done justice to the situation. So, yeah, sexual harassment, sexual assault. But yeah, they brought Tens in, and then Tens was great, and then everybody who was on the team that wasn't Tens eventually gets left go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they just rebuilt around him.
Around him. Yep.
Wow.
It was Tens and Friends then. It is Tens and Friends now.
Tens and Friends.
Tens and Friends.
I
Yeah, it's
really
pretty
like
lit.
that. That's good.
Yeah. So but Sentinels is a franchise team, so we're not getting to see them like these days. Right now, who's going? G2, we mentioned, has Dapper and Shazam from the old Sentinels roster. They're looking pretty good. I think still on the top of their group.
I mean, we'll really see who's good after this lock-in. So
We will, but the Guard is looking like a tier 1 team. The Guard almost got franchised, but like they missed out, and now they're just dominating. Like they have enough of a map differential that they could like almost lose out and still be really yeah. They got so many round wins. They're looking nuts, and I wish I had Guard merch so I could like prove that I'm a Guard fan. But like they own an Overwatch League team, and so I'm into them.
Hey,
Cool.
Is that a transition to the Overwatch
I think
League?
it is.
Very clean. I'm impressed.
Hey, thanks.
We're getting better at this. Huh?
Season 6 is announced of the Overwatch League. It is going to start on April 27th. There are differences with the format of the Overwatch League this season than in previous seasons. In part, for like an exciting reason, there's going to be a Pro-Am tournament before the season actually starts. So starting on March 23rd, there's going to be a 3-week tournament where contenders like Tier 2 Overwatch teams play in order to get the chance to play against other top contenders team and Overwatch League teams for a $100,000 cash prize.
Nice.
Which is cool. Yeah. That is a good thing that's happening. A bad thing that's happening is, as we've talked about in previous episodes, NetEase has stopped publishing Blizzard games in China, and so all Blizzard games are down. And so even though there are 5, now kind of 4, because the Los Angeles Valiant, who had been an American team and became Chinese, is now going back to the West. There's actually a really funny post recently where the Los Angeles Valiant Twitter posted that they're proud to announce that they will be competing in like the West Division, and then the Toronto Defiant added them and said competing. So that was funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
So wait, those Chinese teams are just moving back to the West?
It is undecided. That one Chinese team gets to, because they were always named the Los Angeles Valiant. But here's the direct quote that I read earlier and prepared on our really handy-dandy outline. The league is working directly with teams to ensure minimal disruption in their preparation for the season. Any specifics you want can be gleaned from that or cannot be known. And because we can't glean anything from that, we just don't know.
I see.
But yeah, the Western teams, I think they're like going to be 16 of them with the Los Angeles Valiant now. No, that's a lie. There's 16 non-Chinese teams. There are like 12 Western teams, maybe 13 with. Just look on over.gg or something. I should have been more prepared.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fair enough.
Okay, but it's going to be cool. And yeah, watch the Overwatch League. It's awesome. Season 3 started on, and there's a new battle pass and a Kiriko skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might play for that.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
it
kidding.
looks
It's a
kind of
battle
cool.
pass.
But also it's Overwatch. Like, who are you? I mean,
There's another league that just kicked off pretty recently.
tell me.
TITLETOWN Esports.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, cool news. Dang. Yeah, talk about it so I can relieve my FOMO, because I did miss out.
Oh, you did?
Well, on Wednesday, yeah.
So,
I mean, you
so
could've watched it on
TITLETOWN,
Facebook,
that's true. I should.
you know, Edge is partnered with TITLETOWN, and we're doing their second season of esports, and it's Rocket League again.
Yep.
This year, featuring Rocket League. This season, we've added some more teams.
Nice.
And we have a much larger production budget, which we are all so stoked for because
and you see it too.
yeah. And this finals is going to be all day event. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's at TITLETOWN in their building, in their atrium. And it's going to be nuts.
It's going to be sick.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool, even for just having the one finals there last season.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, that was an in and out real quick. I mean, I think we were in there for only like 3 hours, but yeah, this is going to be all day. Yeah. So, and there's going to be 6 teams playing. So, I'm pretty stoked.
Talk about stuff that's in
2 potentially from the minor bracket, which I'm loving.
Yes. So the bracket I made is the minor bracket. The top 2 seeds of that, they play the 5th and 6th seed of major.
Really cool.
Yes,
really
and so they can Cinderella run into the playoffs, which is great. Makes for great storylines. You know, if it actually happens, it would be incredible. So yeah, it'll be cool. And the reason it's a Cinderella run is statistically they should not beat. You know, but if they do, it'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. So, we also have a top 100, or a peak top 100 player globally. Globally.
Oh my God.
Not in NA, but globally playing Remedy.
I didn't realize he was top 100 globally.
Yeah, he's top 100 globally.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wait, so the top player that we have in our ecosystem isn't the great Shanky?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
Dang.
So
That's
Remedy.
If Shanky did get to play though, he would not be the worst player in the league. Though.
Definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not. No, there's only Shanky is a 50-point player, and there's only like
he's champ 3, right? He's just under grand champ.
Yeah, but he's like one of, I think he'd be like the 10th best player out of 40 or 45 players in there. So
because we have
he's not
2
bad.
Supersonics and then
We have 1 SSL, 1 and then 2 GC3s.
Okay.
And then everyone else is like champ 3, champ 2.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Real cool.
but yeah. So anyways, it's been the first week went off with pretty much without a hitch.
It did. It really did.
We had one team join a random server on accident, started playing their match, and then realized, these aren't the people we're supposed to be playing. That was pretty funny.
That's great.
It's a seeded bracket, so some teams went 06 their first night, but it's a seeded bracket that's going to happen early.
Yep.
When you have like minor has 10 teams in it, so I think one of the matches was like seed 2 versus seed 9.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's to be expected. You'll get the wins though. The cool thing about minor is there's almost like 2 little brackets inside of minor where the top 5 teams are pretty close and the bottom 5 teams are also pretty close. So I told them I fully expected it to be a bloodbath.
Right.
Whereas major, there's 6 teams in major, 5 of them are pretty close, and then you have Remedy's team who is everyone's playing for second to get in there. So
you could say they're very
but we'll see.
impactful.
There's 2 teams that I think might level up over the season.
Yeah.
Because Remedy is obviously the superstar player of that team.
You could say he's supersonic.
But they have weaker players that are weaker than some of the other like if they can as a group overcome Remedy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people told me they're just going to demo him. They're not even going to let him play the game. Yeah,
Really?
it's going to be a 2v2.
I mean, it's a
if we're
strat.
talking the amount of consistent competitive play that these guys get to do now on a weekly basis, right?
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Remedy doesn't have any real opportunity to level up, right?
No.
But everyone underneath
Yes,
them
everyone else is
playing
just going to
him-
get better.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
else is
yeah,
just going to
yeah.
get better.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully by the time playoffs, it'll be a little closer of a gap. So.
Yeah, it's crazy how like the best guy in the room always has the biggest target on his back.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the Geek Layer Gaming, that's Westy and Kaczynski and Grungy. They're thirsty. Like they're like, dude, we want to take this guy out.
Yeah.
Because they play against him here at the arcade.
Yep.
For the friendlies that we do, and they're like, that's fun and all. Let's take them out in the TITLETOWN tournament. Yeah.
Right.
So they're pretty hungry
Well,
for
and
it.
VOD 1 has over 1,000 views already.
Oh, dang.
Right.
Yeah.
Titletown's
Hit 1,000 views.
Holy crap.
Yep.
So
And that's the
really
first
awesome.
live stream they've ever done.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, they've
we're
never
the-
even done one.
It's the only
So-
live screen on their Facebook
yeah.
when you go to their live. Whoa,
Yep.
whoa! I'm getting a little excited.
Yep.
So
I mean, with every right.
right,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I think our peak for EGL was like 450 on
For
season
one of the
3.
L
For League of Legends,
yeah.
it was our season 3 finals. I think we like peaked 350 views. So
Mm.
so that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's savage.
And I'm expecting next week to be triple,
Mm.
like within the first 24 hours.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, maybe even by the end we'll have
More
like
families.
10,000.
Oh, and
Yeah,
that's
we'll
the
have,
thing
like,
too. It's
10,000.
very easy for families to tune in to Facebook.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Right? So
Yeah. And it's Titletown, like their reach is just absolutely just dwarfs us. So
yeah. Not for long.
And let's see what else do I have in news besides League of Legends.
Well, you recently voted the best hubby in the galaxy, right?
Oh yes, thank you, wife. I actually just love this shirt.
Yeah.
It's so comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel so vain wearing it as much as I do. But I don't know, it's like a really heavy, thick cotton, and normally I don't like that, but it's like
shirt.
you see how you feel kind of like how thick
Spinner
and
wants to
heavy
cuddle
that is.
now. Look
Yeah,
what
he
you
I mean,
does.
I always want to cuddle. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
But yeah, so trying to think what else is there. I guess in non-esports but also gaming news, Warhammer Darktide released like 3 months ago.
And you are obsessed.
I wouldn't say I'm obsessed, but it's been a lot of fun.
Every time I
Is that
look
what
at Vindy in the Discord.
Yeah,
that's what I've
Warhammer.
seen you
the
play.
game
Okay.
the game has like pretty bad reviews overall on Steam because there's not a lot of content. But I'm not the type of person who would play a game like that for more than 100 hours anyways.
Right.
But like once you hit in game, like because I truly only play the game like maybe once a week, but I'll play for like 2 hours. So in that like raiding with a couple of my friends, like just doing that, it's pretty awesome. I'm a huge Warhammer fan. If you have ever heard of Warhammer, get into the lore. It will just all other lore, like even as much as I love Lord of the Rings, like all other lore,
Really?
it's not even close.
What?
You could probably combine every other fictional universe together, and it still wouldn't equal the size of Warhammer.
Crazy.
Probably doubled, and it still wouldn't equal.
I'm
the
gonna
size
call
of Warhammer.
bullshit.
Wow.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna call bullshit on every other fictional universe.
The Horus heresy alone, which is just like it's a big deal in the Warhammer thing.
Yeah.
The Horus heresy alone, I think, is 60 plus books, and that's just like it's just a blip. It's a big blip, but it's like a blip
Wow.
on the timeline.
Yeah, it's almost a library.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, and it's unfaithfully narrated.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Do you know what that means?
I do not.
It's like from what I'm gathering, like
Yeah.
there's an omniscient narrator where the narrator knows everything and like just presents the action is going on, and then you take it for granted. And then there are like narratives where what's being presented to you is
Could be
like
biased.
Yeah, it's it's a point of view of a certain figure, and maybe you could read an account of similar to the same events, but
Yeah.
different stuff comes.
So
out.
imagine if you were like making an autobiography about yourself.
Yeah.
That would be bias about you. Whereas if I studied you, you know what I'm saying? So so if I studied you and I just knew everything and I wasn't biased, that would be a faithful narration. So faithful narration is like what movies do.
I see.
Yeah.
Or like documentaries.
Some movies, yeah.
Some movies, yeah. So Warhammer is unfaithfully narrated. So that means the books can contradict themselves.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yep. And it's pretty awesome. It's
Because
intentional.
you see it from different perspectives.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the idea behind the lore is that it's in our future. Like,
Yeah.
so it's called Warhammer 40K because it's the 40th millennium. So we're like, this would be like Warhammer 1K
Yeah.
or 2K, I should say.
2K, yeah.
Yeah. Well, technically, we're in the 2K.
Would
Yeah,
it be
yeah.
20K?
Well, I don't. Regardless,
2K, I think.
regardless.
1,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Oh, yeah.
so
Wow,
it's
that's far in the future.
yeah. That's the idea.
And
so,
AI didn't take over the world? Weird.
It did. Oh, very good.
Oh,
Very
fun.
good. Yeah. It's called the Dark Age of Humanity. Yep. And
coming, guys.
They took over and they lost all the history there. And so they have to like try to piece it together. So you as the reader are also piecing together what happened.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
incredible.
cool.
It's incredible. Now, I'll
Do they
walk you
have
through
any-
it.
Do they have any action games?
Yeah, they have this. It's the board game.
No, I
The
mean.
miniature
Oh, you mean for
ones.
video games?
Yeah.
There's like there's over 100 different Warhammer games of every
what?
genre. Yeah, it's incredible.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's been a franchise for like 40 years, you guys.
Well, I knew it was a board
Well, yeah,
game.
but, like,
a
games
war
40 years
simulator.
ago.
No, the franchise, like the IP, is 40 years old.
So the IP is older than like the war.
The
simulator
IP is
board
almost
game?
as old as like Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has considerably more lore.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it would make you laugh.
Crazy.
Yeah. So there's probably enough Warhammer content to just like live off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Imagine.
Well, that like.
Yeah.
That makes sense because
Yeah.
like
I probably
Warhammer
spent around-
fanboys
yeah.
are like Warhammer.
yeah, like I
You would
consume.
actually make a really good cosplay for Warhammer too.
Yeah, I spend probably 2 hours a week just watching Warhammer lore.
Oh really?
I've been doing that for like 6 months.
Oh, like where the
nice.
Alex Jones
Shout out
is
to
in the-
Luton 09. That's
No,
the memes. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Luton 09. He's like the main like lore master
Yeah.
that does long form like 2-hour videos.
Yeah.
Very well done. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm hoping,
L-U-T-E-N-I-N?
yeah.
I'm hoping Destiny turns out like that because I'm so big.
Yeah,
into
yeah,
Destiny
yeah.
and
You
the lore.
yeah, you would be amazed at the Warhammer.
Yeah, we'll
stuff.
wait like
It's just
35
incredible.
years. to
Right.
see,
No,
right?
I'll be
Yeah.
part of it. Then.
So-
How about that?
All right. Well, we are approximately 30 minutes in, so I guess time to
Time to
move on to the main thing.
time for crypto in esports.
I want to go last.
You want to go last?
Yeah.
But like I don't really. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I don't have anything to add, but like I will. I'll play dumb because I am.
So
We'll start with
I
Force.
mean,
Yeah,
Force is
yeah.
definitely
right.
going to be
so
more pro.
I myself
am
am
an NFT.
I am a collector. You could say
Connoisseur.
a digital collector of NFTs and crypto. I originally, got into blockchain currency. Let's just call it that, because blockchain I think is more relevant to the conversation than just like calling it crypto, right? But I got into the currencies originally with the intent of getting rich quick, right? Because it's like, oh, hey, everyone's finally buying crypto. And there was a certain narrative when it came with it that does make a lot of sense. And that's the fact that certain cryptocurrencies can be scarce, like Bitcoin, for example, right? And so it's impossible to inflate, right? It's, surplus, I guess, right? So, and, with the US dollar slowly becoming worthless, I guess you could say, it seemed like a smart move, right?
Interesting.
And then all of a sudden, this whole notion of NFTs came about with Ethereum. So Ethereum created the ability for smart contracts to take place on these cryptocurrency blockchain techs. And I mean, I'm not going to argue whether Ethereum can be considered a security or not. That's way above my understanding of how the SEC.
Also, the entire podcast level of
Sure, right.
understanding.
I have no interest in that, right?
yeah,
too.
fair enough.
But I did become in love with NFTs, and my non-custodial crypto wallet would tell you that, because I literally spent every single currency coin of mine on NFTs.
Dang.
And some of it, obviously I'm definitely like, this is my first time like diving into investments too. Like
This is also the first time in your life you've actually had some spare money to like
Exactly.
throw things at.
right. Because I mean, my upbringing, I came from a poverty like family, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
we grew up in a trailer park at one time. But like I've used my skills to kind of dig myself out of that lifestyle. And then, I had some surplus, and especially with all the stimulus that was coming in,
Yep.
right?
Yep. That makes
And
sense.
which everybody did, which is why the cryptocurrency like
Yep.
bubbled up like it did, right? So I had a lot of little play money that I was like, well, I'm gonna start investing. I'm gonna take a look at it. I bought some stocks. I still have it. I haven't sold any of my stocks.
Because you're diamond hands.
Right, I am diamond hands. So, But then the majority of it, everyone was like, oh, 30% crypto and 80% stocks or whatever, 70% stocks. Like, I did the exact opposite, right? Because I went all in on crypto. I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to risk it, I'm going to risk it. But then, yeah, this whole idea of digital collectibles, like, really just struck me. And if anybody has seen Ready Player One, the movie, like, I think that future is inevitable, right? And something that
we can stick ads in 81% of the screen before someone has a seizure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely going to happen, right? But what I really liked about that was it didn't matter what world they went to, their items mattered, right? So if when like his buddy in that has that big mech suit, right? And that's an item that he carries on with well, he even summons the Iron Giant in that movie, right? So like that's an item that because of the way the Oasis was built, that all of its subworlds, right? If you created an item for one world, it mattered and it worked in other worlds, right? That's something that blockchain technology can do, because if you have a piece of code that says, hey, this item is named this, these are the kind of attributes that it has, right? So maybe it's a sword and it's so long in length and it glows a certain color and it has these kind of properties. So it has like a fire property or it has like a cosmic property or something like that, right? You can get pretty basic with the properties of that item that's sitting on that blockchain. And then if a game world accepts that item, then it can decide how it manifests in that world. But the properties are still the same and it's immutable on the blockchain, right? Because everybody as a collective that's part of this decentralized network has said, oh, this item belongs to this person, or this piece of the blockchain, which has now had a smart contract attached to it that says this part of the blockchain is now an item and it has these properties and it is linked with this transaction to this wallet, which is a user, right? Because a user has to own a wallet. While the only way that that connection is going to change is if collectively all of the storers of the blockchain, of that particular blockchain, would say at the same time that that item now belongs to a different wallet, right? And the only way that that happens is, again, another smart contract that then links this item to another
And
thing.
what he just explained, if you've heard it like 10 times, it actually does start to make sense. If this is your first time hearing it, it's going to sound like gibberish.
Sure. Right.
I have listened to crypto much, so like that was actually even more simplified than I thought you could make it. That was not bad.
Thanks.
You did pretty good there.
But that's because I'm like,
yeah, you're
that's
in it.
what I want.
Yeah, you're in it. Yeah,
I want a future that,
which is
has
interesting
this
because, like, you know, when we think, like, obviously we can't just go into crypto just to go into crypto. We need to tie it back to the purpose of this podcast. But like, you know, when we have gear to play our games, like our desktops and our monitors and stuff, and now it's like, oh, do you also have the NFT to play this game?
Yep.
Do you have the gear?
Right.
The in-game gear, you know? And that kind of goes to what a lot of people think about RPGs. You know, it's like,
Exactly.
oh, to even like do this dungeon, you need this gear.
Yep.
It's like, that's not something that exists in esports because we don't consider that competitive integrity anymore.
Right.
We don't really talk about it outside the game, right? Like, if I have a 360 hertz monitor and you have a 60 hertz monitor and we're both playing Valorant, no one questions that. They just say, oh, well, sucks to suck. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the game is the same.
Right.
This kind of goes back to our PEDs, but it's more like PEH, performance enhancing hardware.
Right. And now technically digital collectibles.
But right. So it's like now it's like, oh, okay. So for me to play, like, you know, if I were to play a character in League, let's say Thresh, right? And it's like, oh, I bought Thresh's Lantern, the NFT. I now have, you know, the ability to have a shorter cooldown on this item. But it's like, it's almost like a gear now. Like anyone can buy this item with real money.
Yeah.
and it affects the way the game is played.
Yep.
Yeah,
I hope that never, ever, ever,
So,
ever happens.
It
I
strikes
mean-
me that that's not the main thought that would go that
Because
goes
that's
into
artificial
NFTs and
scarcity.
esports.
It is
in a video
artificial.
game.
Isn't most of the thought that like the NFTs would be related to cosmetic items?
And
Like
that's
you-
the thing too. That's the
You
other
would say
side
that,
of it,
but
right?
I've heard many people say like, "Yo, I spent like $3,000 on this mount in World of Warcraft.
Mhm.
Yo, I wanted to do X in this video game."
Yeah, but that's WoW. Is there competitive WoW?
No, but
kind of.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is competitive WoW.
Yeah, it's not like an e-sport,
Right.
but it's
Sorry,
competitive.
yeah. Is
But
there an
the
esport WoW
the
where
idea
you
is
worry
that
about-
I should be able to transfer $3,000 worth of value to the other game if it's an NFT. The problem is I don't see why any game designer would ever want that, because it means you don't have to spend $3,000 on their game anymore.
Mhm.
You know, unless you built into the smart contract.
Right.
5% of this item to use in our game you must pay. Now that
I feel
that sounds like a dystopian nightmare to me.
Sure. And there
Because
will
like
be,
imagine,
but I mean, you can
it's
make
like
an
it's like a
NFT,
finder's
though.
fee. It's like a finder's fee to use the
Right, but think about this though. Think about this. Like say they do charge a pass to get in their game, right? And they launch an unlimited amount of NFTs to do so, right? So now you have an NFT. Well, guess what? NFTs are transferable. if
Yeah,
they're done
that's another
correctly.
thing too.
So
right.
now if I pay $40 for this NFT to get into this game, I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But there's another guy that'll pay $20
yeah, I can
to
try
buy my
recoup.
NFT, and now he can access the game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's kind of technology too I'm very interested in.
yeah.
But when it comes to esports, I don't necessarily think that, and it will happen, there will happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I want it to happen with NFTs, is that there will be a pay-to-win structure, right? There will be very OP scarce digital items.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Right.
They're just not NFTs.
Right.
Like one of the main reasons I don't do sports games is because like apparently, and I don't know too much about it, but it was explained to me. Like apparently in FIFA,
Yeah. Their ultimate team. Yeah.
yeah, so like you can just pay money to get card packs or
Yep.
or stuff like that.
Yeah. And make your team crazy good.
Yeah, and it's like
And guess what, though? The worst thing about that is that they don't transfer over to the next year.
oh yeah, exactly.
So
That's
they
my
make
point.
you buy it every year.
Yeah,
which
of
is
course.
another reason
Yeah.
on why I think NFTs are actually more consumer friendly than they
on that
are
level. But
creative.
they will
could
just find a way because like their revenue models are based to have that income.
I know.
They can't get rid
Right.
of it.
Which is
So,
why I don't
yeah.
think that AAA studios, the way they are structured now, are going to be the studios that bring web technology popular or
Yeah.
Web3 technology.
We also
It's gonna
don't
be
pay
the
enough for video
indie.
games too. Like
But-
people think that video games are expensive. They're nowhere near as expensive as
No.
they need to be.
Right.
They're,
I mean,
they're not even close.
when I was
to be like
when I was
sustainable as
14,
yeah, games have been $60 for
Right.
20 years.
When
Yeah,
I
they're
was
becoming 70 with
14,
Zelda now.
That's
right?
not enough.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
If you get a AAA game like a COD game, dude, that game needs to be like $130, $140.
well, and the reason being
Me
also
because like they didn't make money on it, or they could.
no,
make
because they
more?
have to make all their money through microtransactions.
Oh, so you're
customers.
saying
The
if they're
average
not going to
customer-
do microtransactions, then they need to be charged.
Yeah, I'm just saying like they could not fund the game on $60 CD sales. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
right. So they do microtransactions.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like they can do it the way they're doing it. They just have microtransactions, and you don't like that.
Not only that, they're also like games are not QA'd anymore because gamers just went out and bought them anyways, and now it literally makes no business sense to actually finish a game. Darktide is not finished. It's buggy as hell. We crash every other time we go to play it. That's why it has bad reviews.
Yeah.
But guess what? I still bought the game. I'm still playing it. Like we're all part of the problem.
Well, it
yeah,
would
we
seem
are.
like
I bought
fewer
Battlefield
people-
before it was finished.
Yep. Yeah, you
and
pre-ordered it. Yeah,
sucked.
and yeah.
Holy crap!
But I
you
feel
can
like
now
bad
play it,
ratings do get that message out, and that is a reason to finish a game.
It hasn't.
You're
I
saying that
mean,
like
These
I
bad
feel
ratings
was
haven't-
deterred.
It's been going on like this for almost 10 years.
I know, but the next game that you buy, are you going to make sure it's finished before you buy after Darktide?
No, because Darktide was the first game I bought in
Okay.
literally 5 years that I paid more than $10 for. Because I just don't buy new games.
Right.
There's no reason to
And
buy
I
a new
generally
game.
don't either. Like the new Harry Potter game, I really want to play it.
Carissa really wants to play it
But
too.
I ain't gonna
But
buy
I'm
it
not going to
now.
buy it.
No.
3070s? 3070s, they're not patched correctly on it.
So you're not gonna buy it anyway, but you think it should be like twice as expensive?
If the game was $120 and came out perfect,
Right. Yeah.
I'd be more interested in
Well,
actually
not
purchasing
only
it.
that, but you'd actually commit the time to complete it, right?
Yep, I'd want to complete it. There'd be more content that I wouldn't have to micro patch in and buy a pass. Some sort of imagine just
'Cause
having
you
all
wouldn't
the
be
things
able to
available.
get away with a $120 game that's not finished. Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay.
No one would risk buying it because it's probably still going to be unfinished.
Right. So it would literally.
I mean,
have
wasn't
to
there
be a
versions of
masterpiece.
COD that were $100?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sorry, I'm just trying to get a handle on, like, are we talking about like what we think that industry should be doing right now, or what like we wish would happen, or what we think is going to happen? Like when
Kind
we
of
talk-
all of it. We did kind
We're-
of veer
we're
off
kind
the
of all
NFT.
off that.
Yeah,
but
like I want to.
That's
So I just
Patch Notes
don't.
podcast.
Well, I also just don't know what to say if we're not distinguishing between like what we think is realistic, what we think is idealistic, what we think is something that should happen.
All right, this is what I would do. I'll cover it all real quick then.
yeah.
Okay. I would ban. So we've already done a decent job at banning the super overt gambling in the video games.
True.
The EU did it harder and faster than North America has. Especially now with Twitch not allowing the
Gambling on their site. Yeah.
yeah, like that was big. Now those weren't in AAA games, those weren't in console games, but there are bills that prevent overt gambling
Right.
in their games, right? Yeah. What I want to see is I still consider battle passes and loot boxes and all that. I mean, I still consider that pretty much low level gambling.
Well, so like this
Well,
is
it's
why a lot.
predatory, that's
Well,
for
so
sure.
this is why Overwatch went from loot boxes to the battle pass,
Right.
Because in the eyes of the law, and apparently most people or consumers, there is a difference between like
the battle pass is not gambling,
Right.
But it does.
I mean,
like,
it's-
you're paying for something that you're not guaranteed, which is also wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's my point is they can't get rid of that revenue because their game cost base, or now it's free to play, right?
Yeah.
Like Overwatch,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
free to play. Yeah. So they got,
You could pre-order it to get bonuses or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you got the first
So
three
like
battle
the way
passes.
Overwatch should be, I don't like free to play models
Okay.
at all. Personally, I wish I could pay money per month to play League of Legends.
A subscription? You'd play League on a subscription?
Absolutely,
Yeah, gross.
I'm begging for it. I've been begging for it for a long time.
So like
I
for a
like the
long
idea of a
time.
premium subscription, but I think free-to-play model is a good way
When
for
you say you'd
people to
like-
be able to get into games.
when you say you'd like it when this is how it should be, like you're saying like I wish there were a world where this just happened, or you think that
If I had control over Riot, I would change League of Legends to a subscription
But
model.
what about the inclusivity, right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with paying for a product.
I know, but if we're talking about an esport that's
Is there
supposed
something
to
wrong
like
with paying for the battle
foster
pass?
I guess I
upcoming
wouldn't
talent.
take away
Yeah.
the free to play model, but I wish there was a paid, like if I could just pay $20 a
And
month to
play
support
with
the
other
game.
premium players if you wanted to.
Sure, have an on and off switch, but that's like a company's decision. I mean the
Sure.
industry decision. I wish the industry would have a paid model and a free model for every game. I wish that was like the standard. So I guess that's what I wish.
All right.
I wish Overwatch
And I
had
wish you
a
paid me more when
paid-
I worked.
I wish-
hourly. Like I think that would be cool. I'm still trying to figure out like
Okay, imagine if
just-
you had every skin unlocked in Overwatch
yeah.
and there were premium skins that only came with a subscription pass that were like super high effort and you paid $15 a month just to have that. Wouldn't that feel good
I mean like
to support the game?
See,
I
I,
get-
would
I
rather
just-
have in the direction of the NFTs, where if I have a really cool skin that's gonna drop, right? I want to be able to buy that, but I don't want it locked to my account.
Yeah, I don't get attached. I don't get attached like
I
that.
want it to be an asset that was available at the time, maybe kind of like a Nike shoe, right? And hey, a year from now, I'm not too much into Overwatch anymore, but I know someone would kill for this skin. Let me offload it to
but
them.
like playing Overwatch is not a means to make money. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't view it like that. Like
no,
it's purely entertainment.
It's cosmetic. No, I'm
That's
just
why,
saying
like,
for the cosmetic value.
Yeah,
So,
I guess.
So the flex on your
If
friends.
if the scarcity was there. Yeah.
So, like, from what I understand, like, introducing secondary markets into, like, cosmetics is not suddenly making a game more
it's
into a
not
job than
new,
a game.
right? CS:GO
Yeah,
does
I
it.
mean, yeah, CS.
Yeah. And then you have CS:GO gambling, which
Right,
is
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to kind of pitch back to the thing, like, like Game Pass now, you can tag your Game Pass to Riot and get everything unlocked, right? Why didn't Riot just do that to begin with?
Just have a Game Pass.
Yeah. Why didn't we just do that?
A Riot Game Pass. Yeah.
Because like what happens is Riot has to live off whales that want like certain skins that are in the game, because Riot's model for League of Legends, unfortunately for Riot, is outdated. They don't have you don't check your shop for the FOMO like in Valorant.
Right.
Or like in League of Legends, you don't have a 2% drop rate for some of the like chibis like Lux.
Like in Teamfight Tactics.
Yeah. So some of the higher
because I'd have
earners,
some chibis if they were just buyable.
I feel that.
exactly. So and that wouldn't make them money. So some of the higher,
Wow, they're not getting any money from me now.
yeah, some of the higher earners in our League of Legends circuit have spent. I'm not going to say their names because that would, but I'll say that they have spent over $2,000 just to unlock one skin.
See, right, predatory.
It's not predatory, because I actually heard Mort defend this, and actually it was a pretty decent. I mean, I wasn't fully bought into it, but it was pretty good. And they were like, Mort, I want the Lux skin. Lux is probably one of the top 5 most popular.
And we're talking about TF2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Lux chibi like Lux is super popular.
Yeah.
People are huge fans of Lux, right? The drop rate is like 1.5%.
It's low, yeah.
It's so low.
Yeah.
And you think, like 1.5%, that's not bad. Like you'll get that over.
Don't they say they have
year
bad
and a
luck
half.
protection?
No, I don't think so.
I
but
mean-
that 1.5% is like to even get a drop is like only 5%. So like it's a 1.5% on a 5% drop. Anyways, Mort said, he's like, basically there are people out there that want to spend, they want to support the game.
Yeah.
And they don't have a way to really do it. And this is kind of like their version of doing it. They want something super exclusive. And they're going to have to spend a lot of money to force the skin. And he just basically flat out said it. He's like, it's going to cost you, if you're lucky, it'll cost you about $160. And if you're unlucky, it's going to cost you like $240. But it's like, if you just want that skin, there's no way to really unlock it. I don't think there's a way you can just unlock it.
Yeah.
You just have to get incredibly lucky.
Yep.
Or you buy a bunch of keys. And and I wouldn't call that predatory though, because like how can you accuse someone of willingly spending that much money for a cosmetic item? I don't call that predatory. You have the money.
Because his conviction with it is different than somebody that would be desperate for it.
Yeah, that's mental illness though, and you can't blame that. It's not
Well, it takes advantage of
it's
that.
not Riot subtly using psychology to like get you on that. They tell you the drop rate.
Yep.
They're very clear like
that's
with
fine.
it all. Which like that would be the difference maker to me.
Yeah.
If it were like, they just hide those drop rates. No, that's not good. Yeah, because now that's predatory. But they're very clear. Like this skin is incredibly difficult to get, and it's intentional.
So I
Anyways, Carissa got it on her first try.
that's really good, and I'm
Congrats.
glad. I do want to get to crypto and esports at some point.
We're still kind of in the same universe.
Yeah, I
a
would
little
say
bit.
so because
talking about-
and the thing is,
Because we're going to
In
talk
my
about why
idea-
crypto. We're going to talk about this next point, which is why is crypto investing? It's not that crypto is investing; it's that esports are buying. I mean, esports are selling to crypto.
yeah.
Don't look at it like
Well-
crypto is investing.
Well,
It's-
so like what places are crypto buying into more than esports? I mean, like which number of things? Like, isn't there a reason that they
stadiums, right? I mean, didn't
okay,
FTX
so like
and
for
Coinbase,
visibility,
yeah.
And
But
so like they're doing it for esports because of visibility, and they're not on Johnson & Johnson lotion.
I just put it to you this way:
also-
if a company, let's say Riot, right? Riot needs, they have a legal obligation to make money to their shareholders, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people also don't know that you're legally required to make like make money for your shareholders.
To attempt it. Yeah.
Yep. Now Riot signed I think it was like a $70 million deal with FTX.
I thought it was $200 million.
Something, yeah. Who even knows? Because it's all gone now,
Yeah.
and it was never gonna probably happen anyways.
Right.
But Riot is notoriously pretty picky with their sponsorships, which means they're selling the ad space, they decide, because everybody wants to get in, but Riot's the one deciding, you get to go and you don't get to. And it really confuses a lot of people, actually, because there are probably some large companies that could fund more events, all these different things, and Riot does not do it because they're picky. They're very picky as a company, right? And so when FTX comes in and just drops $70 million or $200 million, whatever the number is, does it really even matter at this point?
Really.
Like
It's millions.
50 to like tens of millions, right? And Riot just takes that. It's because they must be hurting for cash.
Maybe.
And it's like imagine
Kind of crazy to imagine.
Imagine if even just 8% of the player base was a paid user. Like a free user isn't even worth 100 free users is not even worth like a paid user. And I've heard this from other podcasts that I've listened to of tech people and stuff like that. Like paid users, man, they're invaluable. Like you get every single one you can.
Yeah.
You'd rather have 3,000 paid users than 75,000 free users.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It's infinite.
Is this like in Battle Pass games too?
In anything, you will 100 to 1 it, because the free users can purchase things, right? Like you could buy a Battle Pass. You have access to the game for free, but that's not guaranteed revenue, right?
So why is it that if paid gamers are infinitely worth a large amount more than like a whole bunch of these Battle Pass users, like are game companies just wrong when they use this?
No, it's because of marketing. That's why. Because what happens is one guy goes free to play, and now anyone who you're just going to go to the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
And that's why this is taken so hard. Because consumers, they just don't want to have to enter in a credit card. I can't think of how many times Wikipedia has asked for $5 for a donation, and I would give it to them. I just don't want to do the bullshit of it all. But I use Wikipedia all the time, and I should be donating probably $30, $40 a year to them.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, because like, holy crap. Donate to Wikipedia, even though I don't.
That's pretty dope.
Well, he
I
will
love
know.
that website.
All right, I'll pledge on this website right now. I will donate $40 their next
go.
fundraising thing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I will submit some sort of proof to someone at some point.
Excellent.
Right.
But
I want to do some.
But my
You should
point
hold me
is
to
like
that.
it's the path of least resistance. And so now what's going to happen is, like, let's say you have a game in the same industry. So like, let's say you have a MOBA. So let's pretend right now that Dota and League of Legends are monthly payment to play, right? And then we just make one that's free, and it's like even a fifth is good. Oh, how many people are going to come over to us now?
Yeah.
Well, crap. They're fighting with different rules, right? It's almost like all these game companies should have just come together. Instead, they got greedy because you dominated your market share with this free to play. Now you
Isn't coming together to like fix prices?
not necessarily fixing the price on what a game it costs, but the problem is that one dev started the trend. Like, people started the trend, and now they all have to do it because it's what the market demanded. But now the market is flipped, where it's like, well, guess what? We're not going to finish our games
Yeah. Because they don't have any insight.
because the market has demanded that we don't have to.
Right.
And so it's like, they're just, it's like, oh, you want everything free from us? You're not going to get the full product then. And now gamers have the audacity to bitch Oh, it's so ridiculous. Like I think as a venue, right? Like as a venue that we host events and things like that, the fact that like people, they want us to be here, and I hope I don't sound too angry to any watching, but they want us to be here, and I try to charge like what I think is a decent price for like the product and like in the things that I want to do, and also to be able to reinvest into the company and to pay myself a living wage.
Right.
And it's like, nope. Oh, no.
Your time.
Oh yeah,
equipment,
because like
utilities.
Oh, I'm going off right here, but like people don't want to compete; they just want to win. So, like I've had a very tough time like dealing with that because it actually frustrates me. I care about competition. I don't care about winning. I want to play well, right? And this goes into
the journey of getting better.
In the journey of getting better, or just even competing where I'm at. Maybe I don't want to get better.
Oh,
Valorant. Maybe I just want to click heads for the night. I don't care to learn the game. I just want to have a good time. I just want to have a good time, you know? And so it's like I want people to be paying with their wallet for that sentiment, but yeah, that's not a thing.
That's not the same thing as competing.
What's that?
Just wanting to have a good time in like,
having
Valorant.
a good time is competing to me.
Not when you don't try to learn the game.
That's not a motivator for me.
Okay, well, so then I just want to like clarify that competing or like
I can still compete at the level that I'm at, right?
Well, yeah, but then you're not like trying to do as well as you can.
Well, then I should just never play Valorant ever again. Like
well, no,
I should only
just
play the one game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, I want to say that you have multiple motivations. Just that like competing and doing something for fun aren't like the same thing.
It can be, I think.
I don't
playing,
know.
Like quick play or unranked and playing ranked, or even just like playing quick play or unrated
the nice
because
thing
you can't play
about
ranked with somebody else.
competitive, which I like competitive over casual, is generally the systems in place for competitive try to pair you with other competitors that are on the same level.
Like I would say I would never do a comp queue in Valorant, even if my account is unlocked to do it, because I'm never going to take the game seriously where I don't want to do that to other players.
So you'd say you're competing when you do the unranked stuff
Well,
anyway?
I mean,
Yeah, you're still competing. You're still playing the game.
Right, it's a versus game.
Yeah. You're against other human players.
Right.
Like,
But like, are you
I'm
trying your best to win?
Like,
yeah, I just don't want to go down the rabbit hole of min-maxing, which to you is like the very basics of the game.
It's not
but,
a,
like,
well, to me, it's
Yeah,
not a
I'm
rabbit
I'm
hole.
not running.
Like
I'm not
side
running
hustles.
into a room backwards. Woo! Like I'm still
Yeah,
competing, right?
But like,
So-
I just don't get why you wouldn't buy your Sage Wall. Like that's not a
So where-
min-maxing thing. That's
yeah, but
like
where
using
did-
one of the 4 abilities you have.
exactly. It's like
to be fair,
because I could buy it, but am I going to use it effectively?
Right.
I'd have to
but
ask
that's the
you
way
how
I
to
Well,
use
no,
it, right?
I just am disappointed
When I
that
first played
you
Valorant.
come into the Discord and you're. I mean, this is not.
You can go.
Well, yeah, I can, but like I'm the one who
And
said
I
I
didn't
wanted
co-
to talk about crypto.
I didn't
at
come
some
into the
point.
Discord. I invited you two to play with me because I was feeling like it, and I
Yeah,
wanted to
and when I
play
hear
some
you're
games with the
feeling
boys.
like playing Valorant and like
I mean, to be fair, he used to badger me the same way when I first started playing Valorant because I didn't always buy my powers when I first started playing too.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not. I totally know where David's coming from. I just don't agree.
yeah.
Because frankly, like this does not matter. It just doesn't. Like I play Valorant once a month. Yeah. So like, even if I tried to learn Sage's Wall, then there'll be the next thing of like, okay, well, why don't you just learn basic lineup?
Well, you have to unlock Raze because you'd probably be pretty good at Raze.
You get my point though. Like
I do.
Why don't you just push to this next point? It's like
I
just don't
promise
want to
you,
push.
using a wall is one of the easiest.
I will use the wall, and then is there going to be another thing you need me to do?
Not if you only play Sage. I mean, use a
All right.
slow orb and throw it directly in front of you. Like you don't have to know a single line.
I don't even know there. What? Wait, does she have a slow orb?
Yes, it's
See, I
one
don't
of
even
the.
know.
It's 2 of the 4 abilities she has, and you've never bought them.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't even know.
Anyway,
I was a chamber main. So I've only played 2 games.
How
of
many
Sage,
of his abilities did you
so-
buy?
All of them, except for the gun. That gun sucked. I didn't like it. All right, so crypto. Why is crypto investing? Okay, and more importantly, why are the sponsor avenues buying? Why are they letting crypto buy? Is it just too much money?
it's free money.
Yep.
A. B. Crypto's demographic is gamers.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're the only ones that can closely understand what the technology is doing enough where they want to potentially buy it.
Yep.
So, like, from what I understand of, like, the pie of people who are really into crypto, it's, like, people who are in the, a lot of people who are in, like, the finance space, even traditional finance space, a lot of people who are, like, into programming, and then, a lot of gamers.
Well, in games, we already technically have crypto, right? It's not based on blockchain technology.
Yeah, you just pay money to get in-game currency.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so we're already used to digital currencies, right? And we're already used to those digital currencies buying us assets in our games. It's just what crypto and NFTs are trying to do, or at least I would say the pioneers in the gaming Web3 space, is they're trying to make it decentralized, and they're trying to make it so players have a secondary market for the assets that they actually choose to buy, right? And so that a gaming world like Ready Player One can materialize, which
I don't want that.
I do. So
Yeah,
because Fortnite's the best example I have of what drives me crazy about the current structure of in-game assets. I have skins. So when me and Ambrose actually, my boy, we started playing Fortnite pretty much from the beginning, right, in the alpha. And as soon as they started releasing skins, I was buying them for me. I was buying them for him. There are some skins that I bought that Fortnite will never release again, so digital scarcity.
Yep.
And B, I will never use them again, so I have no use for them sitting on my account. But there are people in the world that would kill to have them and kill to have them on, like, playing with them, right? And so if there wasn't a way for me to offload that single skin to them for a little bit of that value back, even, it wouldn't have to necessarily be at an upper charge, right? But maybe I just get a little value back from it, right?
What if the dev takes 50% of the sold value?
That's fine. That's
because you
them.
just want something back.
Sure.
Something, anything. Is
Well,
more than nothing,
and it's the ability to, like, give that to somebody, right? And to pass that on to somebody too, right? Which is a fantastic experience for both parties.
I think at that point, though, you just get into that artificial scarcity issue, and it just feels
but it's already
bad.
here.
Kind of.
Why not take it to the next level?
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like that.
I like it
because, like, like PAX TF is the most expensive League of Legends skin in the game.
Okay.
It goes anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000 based on the account.
You have to give the account up.
Yeah, you have to give the account up.
My accounts are my identity.
But do you know why the skin is so rare? It's not even because of digital scarcity, because you actually had to attend PAX.
Sure.
And get a physical code by attending there,
NFTs
which was
definitely.
But, like, the idea is that no one should ever be able to have that unless they attended PAX.
Sure.
So,
but people still can, right? They can still buy the account. So
yeah.
But now you have to buy somebody's whole identity in that ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I don't want that.
Yeah, like, against that, I'm just thinking of, like,
and
autograph stuff is
on
valuable,
blockchain,
even though, like, in principle, you only get an autograph if you met a person and got them to sign the thing. But, like, you still sell that stuff all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because somebody wants to just hang on to that for either a keepsake.
But you know why an
for
autograph is so special? Because you had to go to the person and get it.
Well, and NFTs could be that way as well.
But it doesn't make it less sacred that there's also a secondary market for it.
Right.
I wouldn't say that. It just...
Like, why would it be different for the PAX thing than, like, an autograph from Mort? Like, if you got an autograph...
If I got the autograph from Mort himself, like, I went up and had him sign something?
Yeah, like...
How is that not more special than...
No, I mean, like...
Just buying that autograph off of somebody?
Well, so, like, is there something
it
different...
would be more special.
Yeah. It can
but
be
for
more
the
special,
person
but, like,
that didn't have the opportunity to go there but still wanted that memorability from him.
Like, I get that going to PAX...
Yeah, I guess that just makes
that
you the difference between a collector and an investor, though.
Right.
Right.
So
you're just not one of them.
Oh, I'm definitely neither.
Well, and you could... I mean, NFTs and cryptocurrency...
And again, that's why, like, me and
investment
Forrest are so, like, opposite on this, because not only is he a collector and investor... That's why he's like that. I am neither. So I have no reason to even be, like, drawn into the crypto space. My main issue with crypto is I think it's extremely disingenuous. I think
what's the disingenuity?
It's basically I bought this thing that I can do nothing but tell you that it has value.
Speculate, yeah.
It's just pure speculation. And so this was sold. This is trying to be sold to a lot of young, impressionable teenagers and young adults who think, oh, well, I just bought this thing for $200. The only reason I bought this is hopefully it goes up to $300 and I make some money.
Sure.
And that is just
that's the bad side.
that's
of it.
just
It
not
is why
good.
you got in, right? Like you
It
wanted
is.
to-
I
That's
was
why,
hooked.
and he said, and he said it too, and that's totally fine. Like,
Right.
and I think there are some legitimate reasons, like, you know, and I don't want to sound like a shill for saying it, but like disclaimer, I hold no crypto. Technically, I have like 0.00007 Ethereum somehow somewhere, and like
Random.
I don't even know how to access it, and it doesn't matter because I don't
it's
care.
worthless anyway.
I had some XRP. And I think XRP might actually do something, but I don't think it's an investment vehicle.
No.
And I don't think
It's
it'll
a
ever be.
technology.
It's a technology.
Yeah. Which
but like you'll
Ethereum
never see,
technically is too, right?
you'll never see XRP listed as like this sexy thing for gamers because it's not there to make you money.
Well, it doesn't have smart contracts attached to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, and that's the thing. You see all these crypto, the big crypto crash has happened, right?
Yeah.
And all these brands have just pulled out. And so where did all that money go? It's just dried up because it was never really there to begin with. It only was there because people were trading. People were selling to other people, and it was just a vicious cycle.
People got money out.
I know.
It just
Yeah,
changed
it's
hands.
It's just never going to go back in. There's no reason
Not
for
the
it to go
same
back
way.
in.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Probably not. Well,
There's just
maybe
no
Bitcoin.
reason. There's just
Maybe.
no
So,
reason to
I
go
will-
back in.
So
Bitcoin
like one,
very good. Well,
one of the things
Actually, someone just released a pretty big paper on. They think there's like 2 or 3 people propping Bitcoin up right now.
well, I mean,
Yep.
I know Binance has like one of the largest wallets.
Yeah.
the Bitcoin ledger.
Apparently, the other Bitcoin wallets are held by individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like those people are just completely propping the coin up. And so, like, if that
you
goes
should
down,
link that to me. Or should we put it in the show notes? Can we do that?
Andrew, find out. Andrew, link something,
Sure.
Please.
please. We pay the man. Do it.
Okay.
Do it. Anyways, yeah. So the crypto space is just like it's not healthy as a sponsorship. Like sponsors should be symbiotic.
Yeah. Well, and crypto isn't mature enough to be sponsoring anything.
No, I don't think
You
so
know
either.
what I mean?
And
The technology is still getting figured out. There's no regulations around it.
right. And that's another thing too is like when we do sponsors in the future, I want them to be just as good for the person handing us cash
Yeah.
as they should get their money back.
Right.
Like I do not want to do any sort of deal with anybody. It's like, you know, unless you just come in and you're like, I just love what you guys are doing.
Sure.
Like an individual, that's one thing. But a company, absolutely not. We better have a plan that they get every dollar back and more. I mean, the idea is that they should, you know, for every dollar they should at least
Sponsor
get.
is a partnership.
Yeah, they should at
and
least be getting like 15 cents
we
back.
want to be in the same ecosystem.
Right. Yeah. That's the idea, right? And it also should benefit the community that you are driving, right?
Yeah.
I don't see how crypto benefits gamers.
Not right now.
It doesn't. It just doesn't.
I mean,
And
there
so,
is a future potentially that gamers earn cryptocurrency by playing their games.
Oh, that is
And
the
that's
absolute worst
that's
that I
a big thing.
really don't want to go into.
Which then technically you could make money by grinding for people that can pay you for stuff, right? But that's a dark world.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah.
Pay to.
If
what is it?
anyone
Pay
is
to
watching,
earn, they're calling it.
by
Pay
the
to
way,
earn.
and I just want to say, if anyone's watching and you stand on my side of the fence, Forrest is not an idiot, and he is not. Yeah, he is very aware of all the cons, probably even more so than you because he's actually in the game.
Right.
So even though he sounds
and the thing
100%
is,
on
like,
with it, he's also very aware. We've had many discussions outside of this podcast.
And the best way to learn about something too, just putting this out there, is you just experience it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I started.
And you can.
As,
That's another thing too. You can right now.
I
you can,
started as an investor, right? Because I wanted to start investing because hey, everybody tells you that's the way you grow your wealth, right? And then it crypto grabbed me because of its allure, you know what I mean? And then I found out about this whole NFT thing, and it really came down to the Fortnite scenario where it's like, holy crap, this is a technology that could eventually make it so I could sell my individual skins to somebody that would want them more than me. Yeah. And as somebody, as an early adopter of a product or a brand or a game or a company or whatever, I could potentially see some return on some of my being there, right? Being one of the people that lifted it up, you know, like almost like an investment in that way, right? Yeah. But the idea is that, you know, a lot of these digital assets that we have in our current technology, they're just, the cool ones are going to fade away, and there's not going to be any value extracted from them.
Mm-hmm. So, what is I saw this guy's Toast said he's not going to do any sort of crypto. I actually saw that before you put that on. Yeah.
So his interview. So Disguised Toast,
very large Twitch streamer.
Does, I know, Teamfight Tactics. He's done some other games.
He's more variety now. Part of offline TV.
Yeah. But he was interested in getting into Valorant, I think last year when Riot released all of these plans to have the tier 2 scene and like the climb up to tier 1. And so he thought about buying a Valorant team. And so, I mean, long story short, like look his own story and interviews up. He's a cool guy. Disguised Toast is his name. It's like his picture is a piece of toast with like a mustache.
Yeah, he used to play that with his head on his head, right?
I have no idea.
I think he used to wear that. He used to wear it
like toast and glasses.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff?
forever.
Oh,
like
wow.
no one actually saw his real face for a long
Kanye
time.
on Alex Jones?
No, like
Dream.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Like he didn't show his real face for a very long time.
Okay.
Dream was the last person that's like big to have their face reveal.
Yeah, probably.
There's not another YouTuber that's anywhere near Dream size that has.
We'll
not
see it
been...
again though with the whatchamacallit, the masks or the
VTubers.
The VTubers, yeah.
Who's that?
VTubers.
Like Code Miko,
right? Well, Code Miko has reveled her face already,
that's true,
right?
That's true.
But there's going to be an upcoming like VTubers trend where
Are you not familiar with VTubers?
They do a face cam or like motion capture type of thing, and then make an animated avatar that you watch.
Oh,
so you don't actually see them; you only see their avatar.
Yeah, but what the avatar is doing.
There's been a lot of them. Like... Oh, wait, I have heard of this.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of them actually showing their face for the first time.
No, I'm just there's gonna be a lot of new contents that come up
never
that
need to show their face because
you'll never see
are their
face.
avatar, right?
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, got you. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe eventually they'll reveal.
Yeah. The only other person I think that's kind of big that hasn't been seen is the guy that like squishes stuff and he like throws eggs. He's obsessed with like throwing eggs.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Does he still make stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, I'm forgetting. Gosh, he's got a really weird...
I got stuck on his like algorithm. You could say.
Yeah. He's got a really
weird
YouTube name. I forget what it is. But yeah, like he's been able to keep himself hidden.
Cool.
But he's wild. Those videos are crazy.
So stupid.
But so like the Disguised Toast thing is so he wanted a Valorant team, he got a Valorant team. They actually are doing decently well in the group of death right now. They played the guard and lost pretty badly, but who did they just play? They won, I think, Mad Lions. They played Mad Lions yesterday.
Mad Lions, LEC. Let's go.
Yeah. They played Mad Lions. Mad Lions lost, and Disguise looked pretty good. And Disguised Toast does co-streams where he's like always following along, and like he doesn't really play a lot of Valorant himself. You know, maybe he does in his spare time,
but he's into it.
Yeah. And he got on one of these like Valorant or Esports podcasts, you know, one that like is almost as big as us, right?
Oh,
right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, our guests are going to be way cooler than Disguised Toast, unless he wants to come on, in which case, yeah, please do, and you're really cool. Imagine him ever finding our videos. One day, yeah. But he gave this talk during the interview about how he just didn't want to take crypto money, even though a lot was coming to him, because he thought that it was disingenuous if you are promoting something that is a speculative asset and where maybe like so this is also in the context of this phase scam where I think it was last year that 4 players on FaZe Clan had been involved in a pump and dump with this Save the Children altcoin.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And
the
so-
pump and dumps are huge.
Yeah, and
Wow,
so
they are huge, but I didn't hear about Save the Children.
yeah,
coin.
well, so
Jesus.
it's named as like presumably it's a good cause, right? You're saving children or whatever, and so these FaZe people, players, would be on their streams and would be talking about like how excited they are about this coin, yada yada. But because it's a speculative asset, and the FaZe players had a financial stake in the success of this coin, once they got enough of their viewers to buy into it, they just sold and they made a good amount
which
of
they
money.
all do.
Yeah, which they
It
all
doesn't
do.
matter
Which
what influencer that
You mean Logan Paul's zoo
Oh,
game
really?
Logan Paul's zoo.
was
Yeah.
a pump and dump? What?
Yeah.
Dude, go watch
CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla's
Yes.
is really good. Yeah, shout out to another podcaster of equal quality to us. But so yeah, Disguised Toast gave what I took to be like the quintessential like Vindy take, where
Yeah.
having a sponsor who puts you in a position to present them in a light that is, if not deceptive, at least like not telling the full story.
Right.
Because it's not like if
Like I show speed.
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm talking?
Looked at-
I'll show you later.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good in a bad way.
Terrible.
Yeah. But like if he doesn't want to be in a position to present his fans with something that is supposed to be valuable and then back off later.
He
like,
feels responsible for it,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is the appropriate and honorable thing.
Yeah.
as opposed to like
and,
using your
you
fans
know,
as just
like I like to anybody that's watching this, do not buy crypto. Do not buy NFTs.
Yeah.
Period.
unless they're your NFTs and they're for sale, right?
Well, maybe someday.
Maybe
right?
someday.
Yeah.
But like the industry is not ready for what this technology can offer,
Yes.
and everybody that's
I don't think
the-
humanity is ready for
right,
what
right, right.
the technology can
the
offer.
the suckers that are like
Yeah.
experimenting with it,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a war game right now.
oh yeah,
and-
it's brutal.
And you know
It's
there
brutal.
are going to be 95% losers in this
Yep.
war game.
There
right?
are 95%
Yep.
losers.
And if you aren't already winning, you're one of them. So don't think you're gonna start
Right.
winning now because
Yep.
you ain't got
Right.
the edge.
Right. Right.
I mean, I know.
I mean, you got this edge.
I know. I know personally, like legitimately personally, people have lost more than 50K.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yep. So it's like, guys, like, just stop.
I thankfully have kept it under that. I
Yeah,
won't say
yeah,
how
yeah,
much
yeah,
I've
yeah.
lost.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
If I make my mattress an NFT, will the money I put in my mattress like appreciate?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Try it out.
Maybe. Yeah, I should.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's it. It's
I think it's David's turn for our next topic, right?
yeah. What are we talking about next week?
Oh, probably some Overwatch 2 thing.
All right.
Overwatch 2. Let's
Oh,
go.
All right. Overwatch 1.5.
Yeah,
for
let's
next
go.
week.
Actually, yeah, have we ever gone
Angry
on like
Joe put that as his number 9 most disappointing game of the year.
Really?
Not bad, just disappointing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm
Yep.
okay with that.
Was Battlefield number 1?
I don't. That's probably going on worse, not disappointing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's very intentional to make the list like the game was playable, just disappointing. I don't think Battlefield was considered playable. So,
Not
yeah.
at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will, just to rationalize for viewers so that they don't think I'm just taking the one thing I care about more than, my guinea pigs and making it the subject of an episode, Like if it really were just all about what I'd want, we would have a slideshow of Neapolitan and Stormy right there eating their tomatoes and eating their hay and being cute and us cuddling. Do you know Neapolitan squeaked alone for the first time recently?
All right, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Yeah, bye.